welcome again to Crush Your Mountain Wellness. I am Henry Gaskins, certified health and life coach, and I am so happy today to have a special individual with me. Now, if you'll remember, we had a wonderful interview with Dr. Ray Dorsey, and we discussed ending Parkinson's disease. That's the name of his book. That's his mission, and we really talked about what it took to change lives for the better. In order to continue that vein, I wanted to introduce to you a very good friend of mine. You see, his name is Tom Sparrow, and Tom had a tremendous challenge himself with Parkinson's disease. In fact, it was so challenging for him. He wound up in a situation where he just had to make a change. He was a businessman. He was a home improvement construction owner, business owner. And yet, this thing interfered with his life and turned things upside down. But one thing about Tom, he doesn't like to take things laying down. He's not going to revel in his misery. So that's the idea, the whole spirit of this show. Crush your mountain. You don't just climb it and endure it. You go forward and you hit it and you get through it. You take your pickaxe, you take your sledgehammer, and you keep hitting at it until you see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what Tom Sparrow is doing. But he doesn't stop there. He actually makes this thing available for others. He's looking to help others as well. And that's why I wanted you to meet my friend and brother. So let's bring him on right away. Tom Sparrow, welcome to Crush Your Mountain Wellness.
How you doing, Henry? It's nice to be here.
My brother, my friend, thank you so much for being with us today. I know that's a bit challenging, but I wanted to just kind of touch base and talk with you a little bit about what you've experienced, what you've been going through. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell them a little bit about how things started as far as your business, and then what you've noticed that led you to understand your diagnosis and how life has been up to a certain point.
Well, I've been down here in the Raleigh area for about 25 years now, and I've been in the construction business for 40 years. Really enjoyed that job, doing that type of work, making my customers happy. But about 10 years ago, I started with a tremor in my arm, and I didn't notice it myself right away, but my daughter picked it out or pointed it out. And since then, everybody's been telling me I've got to get it checked. And I went to a chiropractor at first, and they seemed to be doing something that was working, but it continued, and it just kept getting worse. And then I started getting, shakes in my head and my arms and stuff, going like this and stuff. And finally, I got insurance and got diagnosed as Parkinson's. As soon as the doctors told me, he said it was stage 3 Parkinson's. So
Parkinson's. 3rd stage Parkinson's.
Yes.
Now, so that means it sort of got into an advanced case at that point.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when you realized what this situation was?
Actually, I was kind of relieved, because I knew what it was. I mean, I realized Parkinson's was, going to be a serious challenge and all, but knowing what it was, and and not just guessing at it, it was kind of a relief to me.
Yeah. Talk to me about the change and decline in the quality of life, as it began to progress and get worse and worse. What does that feel like? What does that do to a man who's used to getting things done, building houses and being in construction? Talk to us about that.
Well, it makes you feel helpless. There's, from going from being able to do just about anything that you set your mind to hardly being able to tie your shoes, it's a little bit humbling, and helps you to see just how much we take things for granted, and it also helps me to see the challenges that others are going through, and be a little bit more empathetic to them.
And that is a very powerful point, because you mentioned empathy, and your empathy it moved you not just to do something for yourself, but it helped you, it motivated you to do something to change your quality of life and then help other individuals. And that's what we like to talk about now, because that's the essence of the show. Tell us about what you've developed, okay, and how it's made you feel.
Well, it's actually just a very simple brace. If you're aware of Parkinson's patients, when we walk, or a lot of us, we don't all have the same symptoms, but a lot of us have the shuffling gait, shuffling our feet in our walking, and it takes a lot of energy just to get from one end of the room to the other end of the room, because instead of taking regular strides, you're taking shuffles, at like 2-3 inches at a time. So what takes a normal person, 20 steps, will take us 200 or 300 steps just to get to the same area. So by the time we get to the other side of the room, we're just exhausted and ready to sit down and relax, just looking for a chair. But I kind of came about this by accident. I was just exercising and put some straps on my feet, just to stretch them and stuff. And I realized that by lifting up on it, it puts the natural angle into your knee, so that it lifts up your feet, and just makes it so much easier to walk. When I have it on, you can hardly tell that I have Parkinson's as far as my gait. Of course, it doesn't do anything for my brain. I'm still screwed up there. But as far as my gait, most people don't even notice it. And the way that I made it is so that you can put it under your clothing. So it's very inconspicuous.
Nice, very nice. So now, what do you call it, so that we're clear on what we call this wonderful brace that you've made for yourself and now is making available, for others?
I call it the Natural Gait Brace.
Yeah. Now, I saw a little demonstration. You had a little demonstration of yourself putting on that brace, and I saved the clip of that. Now, it's interesting, I would say, because it's taken with a phone, it's a little rough, and the way it was done, the before picture with him walking around, before you see it, and those of you that are listening to this, it's, if you go to the YouTube channel and you'll see the actual footage. You'll see the whole live show, but the background is blurred out initially, but afterwards that's cleared up, and you can see the background as well. And while the background is cleared, while the background is in its blur mode, you may notice a bit of that he'll kind of fade in and out. But all of that's just because of the phone and how the phone is being filmed. But what you're going to see in just a second is the actual footage of the before and the after of Tom Sparrow using the Natural Gait Brace. Let's take a look.
Well, my name is Tom Sparrow. I've been in the Raleigh area about 25 years in the construction business. For the past 15 years or more, I've been dealing with Parkinson's. Been diagnosed about 7 years, and I've had it a bit longer than that. I'm not sure exactly. But one of the problems that I've had with it, as many Parkinson's patients have, as well as other people, is a real bad shuffle in my gait. And sometimes the amount of energy that you expel just trying to get from one end of the room to the other is so exhausting. But by the time you get to the other end of the room, you just want to fall down